Chapter 10. Results 8th of May 1999 and 24th of September 1999. 8th of May 1999, last day at Bath University as a swimmer. I went to Bath as usual today for my swimming session and felt fine, but just a little worried about the results of the MRI scan, which was where I was going to go after the swimming session. Everything was going exactly the same way as usual until I was told to swim a set of 100 metres freestyles off the turnaround time of 1 minute and 30 seconds. I started okay, but then I couldn't quite see the clock's hands, and I couldn't therefore make out the times I was supposed to be swimming off. I struggled with my poor eyesight, thinking that it was just a momentary thing and that I would be fine, but then I swam straight into the wall instead of turning in front of it. This seemed to be very strange, and so when I swam into another swimmer, I felt it only right to get out of the pool for a break before I caused some damage. Ian Turner, my swimming coach, said that it was fine for me to get out, and then his wife, Kerry, was on the poolside. I put both hands on the poolside as usual to get out, but slipped right back in again. My arms had no strength. Try again. This time I fell flat on the poolside with two of the swimmers helping to push me out, and Ian and his wife helping to pull me out. I felt stupid and apologised profusely. Ian then told me to go home and get rested and only come back when I was well. That day turned out to be my last training at Bath University with Ian Turner and David Lars, a pain-filled memory and a day I will never forget. After having a shower and getting changed, I went over to my mum and dad. I could see the fear in their eyes, and as soon as my mum smiled, I burst out crying. What was wrong with me? I remember Mum putting her arms around me and hugging me hard as I tried to control the tears. I have to be strong for everyone as well as for myself. We have to see the scan and hear the results. We need to be as strong as possible just in case, she replied, comforting me. My dad drove the three of us into the hospital where we were having the meeting with the neurologist, Dr. Kenneth Dawson. I had nerves in my stomach, but I decided to ignore them and spoke about easy subjects, asking, for example, what we were having for dinner that night. Getting to the hospital, I climbed out of the car. Remembering my last trip to the hospital when I walked into the bush by the path 3 times, I studied the path and fully concentrated on where I was placing my feet. I got to the hospital without the burden of having hit the bush. The neurologist asked me how I felt, and I said fine. He then went on to say he had been looking at my scan results, and it showed a lot of swelling and scarring on my brain. Scars? I am only 17 years old. Why would I have scars on my brain? Your illness could be an infection, lupus, or multiple sclerosis. We will have to wait a bit longer to find out which one it is. What? I was hoping it was an infection. The neurologist went on to ask what we had thought it was. I said I thought it was just an infection. My mum thought it was a brain tumour, and my dad thought I had mad cow's disease. Thanks, Dad. At least I didn't have a tumour, as I had feared. At least I wasn't going to die, just yet. The neurologist kept saying that it could be an infection, but I could tell he knew otherwise, but just wasn't telling us yet. It could be lupus or MS, which would be better. I hadn't heard of either before, so hopefully they were not too bad. When the neurologist told me to stand outside while he had a quick conversation with my mum and dad, I felt terrified. Maybe I am going to die and he is telling my parents how bad I am. Or maybe he is saying about all the pain I'm going to be in. Or maybe he is saying that my life is over. When I was allowed back in, I saw the fear in my parents' eyes. Great. Bad news, obviously. I was shown pictures from the scan which showed the many scars on my brain. It seemed strange that the photo was an image of what was inside my head, that something was attacking me, making me sick. If I stay positive and happy, no one will see my fears. If I stay the same as normal, maybe the illness will get better. I shouldn't be sick. I never get sick. Maybe the scan showed somebody else's brain and mine was fine. I don't believe that I have got a disease in my brain, not at 17, and definitely not when I'm meant to be going to the Sydney Olympic Games next year. Maybe this is all just a very bad dream. Going home, I was happy and positive. It was obviously just a bad infection. I will be back soon. A bad infection, unfortunately, that will never go away. The neurologist had told my parents that he was worried about the amount of scarring on my brain, and that he thought it was MS, an incurable illness of the central nervous system. He told me nothing, and I kept the usual positive persona alive. The depression was just round the corner, but I still had the dreams and the high goals, the Olympic Games, the medals yet to be won. I was still happy, living life to the full, enjoying every day with all its amazing events. I was living the dream and loving it every moment. Today was just a blip in the program. Nothing was wrong, really. Everything will be fine tomorrow. Unfortunately for me, that tomorrow never came. 6 months later, I received the confirmation of my illness. September 24th, 1999, 4 days after my 18th birthday. This was the day I was told the diagnosis from the neurologist. Stephanie, you have relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis. This currently does not have a known cause or a cure. Happy 18th birthday, Stephanie. Here's a present that nobody wants.